Welcome to a quick look at Paths of Exile, a free-to-play action RPG from Grinding Gear Games. My first thought was great, another free-to-play game that'll be inside some kind of walled garden and the only way to really experience it is to drop some cash on some premium currency. Nope. This game has one of the most fair business models for a free-to-play game I have ever seen. This company practically gives you the game completely free. I've only sunk a few hours into the game, so I may leave some things out that a veteran will know, but I will give a general overview of the game. Paths of Exile is a love letter to the classic ARPG Diablo with a few new additions. Characters are not limited to a predefined class, for example. The warrior is not limited to swinging a great hammer around and wearing plate mail. The character I am playing now is the duelist. His skill tree wants him to swing swords and dance around his enemies, but I wanted him to be a spell-slinging Lord of the Dead. The first few steps to that was a little rough, but the way the passive skill tree is laid out, I could look ahead and carve out my character's new path. All armor and weapons have colored sockets that you can place gems into, while spells and actions are controlled by what gems you have socketed into them. Your passive skills in the skill tree can determine if they do more physical damage or cause the target to bleed, but to fling fireballs or raise a zombie you need the correct gem. These gems are normally dropped during a dungeon crawl or can be bought from the vendors in town for a few scrolls. You heard me, scrolls. In this world, there isn't a normal source of currency like gold or silver, but instead it's a form of barter. Whenever you want to sell something, you are given an item based on what it is. A non-magical item is turned into a scrap of wisdom, and an identified magical item is turned into an alteration shard. These shards and scraps can be turned into orbs and scrolls that can change and alter your items, adding more magical properties or even stripping them of all their properties. This game is a loot fest as well. You'll be checking your gear against more robust and rare armor constantly. If you can't find something that makes your character better, you can craft it using orbs to change the rarity type and magical properties as well. So you may be asking yourself, okay, where's the paid content? This is a free-to-play game, right? Well, the only things I can infer from some of the menus is that it's mostly cosmetics or some of the currencies such as orbs or scrolls. Honestly, however, I never really looked too much into it because I never really needed any extra scrolls or orbs. I never saw an in-game pop-up telling me to buy a combo pack of currency or a double XP pack. I could only see text in the bottom left hand side sometimes reminding me that they have a sale on a cosmetic item, but it quickly disappears. The only thing that seemed to let me down is that you couldn't change your difficulty from the character creation screen. Instead, you had to go through an obtuse set of requirements to make the game more of a challenge. The default difficulty makes your character seem like a god, so I barely needed to drink my potions while playing. The only times I needed to watch my health and mana was when I was fighting bosses. The amount of elite monsters is staggering. Each location has a multiple mini bosses, all with their own groups of minions that can really make you keep an eye on your finger primed over the health button ready to push it, but you never really need to press it. The game does have a focus on multiplayer as well. There is a very dedicated PvP scene, as well as a bulletin board system for picking up a party of other players to go adventuring with. I personally enjoyed going solo. I summoned my undead meat shields and blasted my way through hordes of enemies, all the while keeping all the sweet, sweet loot to myself. So to wrap up, Paths of Exile is a fast-paced hack-and-slash game that is from a very generous development team that has a very, very fair pay model that is packed with monsters, loot, and more importantly, free content. I would honestly expect this to be a AAA $60 game for the amount of depth and gameplay it has to offer. Pick it up on Steam from the link in the description below, and thank you so much for watching.